So, happiness and joy, I'm sure by now you've figured it out. Happiness is a feeling, comes and goes, usually generated by some external stimuli. Joy is an attitude, it's not a feeling. So, what we're talking about today is joy, not happiness, because joy is an attitude. We decide if we're going to live that attitude of joy or not. Nobody decides that for us. I often hear people say, well, that makes me sad, or that makes me angry, or that makes me anxious, whatever. Nothing makes us sad or angry. It is how we have decided, consciously or unconsciously, to respond to external stimuli, to the things that happen to us. So today we're talking about joy in Christ. Rejoice in the Lord always, we heard from Paul to the Philippians. So even if you're going through a tough time, if you're enduring some of the tragedies of life, the death of a loved one, or financial downturn, or divorce, or whatever, and I'm not just talking about a euphoria, but we can still approach it with a joyful attitude, that there's something to learn from what we're going through. That's what we're talking about today. Not happiness, but a spirit of joy. That's why here at Seton, you hear some people say, everybody says, have a good day. Here at Seton, some people are saying, make it a good day. Because how we approach whatever is happening is how we will be able to work through it. So we're in a period of stress. There's probably no time in the year that people are under more stress. 2 weeks to Christmas, that'll make you nervous. But that's what Paul is talking about. Do not worry about anything, but in everything, prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. So, and I say this every year, if you're under stress right now because of expectations that you have placed on yourself, things that you feel that you have to get done in the next 2 weeks, if that's causing you stress, stop doing it. Don't put that on yourself. Nobody can do it for you, but we have to decide how much we're going to do during this period of preparation for Christmas. If there's something stressing you, stop doing it. Free yourself from that. So then with that background, we go to the gospel. And you heard it already. John the Baptizer was talking to 3 specific groups: the crowds, the tax collectors, and the soldiers. Now, if we read the scriptures a little bit more deeply than just the surface, I don't think Luke was talking just to the crowds, the tax collectors, and the soldiers. He was using them as a backdrop for the stresses that we humans go through. So if you look a little deeper, what would the crowds represent? And I believe what Luke is telling us is that we should share what we have. You've seen the cartoon already. There's no hearse that has a U-Haul attached to the back of it. Share what you have. And I don't think the Gospels say that we have to give everything away. Just go to your closets. Share what you cannot wear anymore unless you lose 20 pounds. Share things that you don't use anymore. Rather than putting them in storage, those wonderful rental storage garages, give it away. Share. That's what I think the first quality that Luke is talking about with John the Baptist. The second one, the tax collectors, I think that represents being truthful. Realizing that life is not about getting, it's about giving. It's about being honest. Is there anything more fundamental than that? That in our words and our actions, that we live a basic honesty, a trustfulness. And then in the third one, the soldiers, it's to be truthful. If you build your life up on lies, or if you're seduced by power and control, give that to the Lord and realize that our lies and our threats do not make us the center of the world. Human nature it is that everybody should do it my way, but we're not the center of the world. Our challenge with Christ is to give it away, to share, to be giving, and to be truthful. Now, if we work on that, as I often say, that's only one side of the coin. That's our personal moral development. And most of us stop there. We think that's what Christianity is all about, that we would become a good disciple of Jesus by that. It's only half. We have to use that to move into our lives so our lives will reach out to bring about those qualities in our society. Christmas did not happen 2,000 years ago. Christ came into the world, but his presence was made known in his adult life. Christ is no longer here, you know that. And he only lives in this world through us. St. Teresa of Avila said that Christ has no body in the world anymore but us. Christ has no hands in the world anymore but ours. Christ has no feet in the world except ours. And that's the challenge, that we would take all of these qualities, sharing, honesty, truthfulness, not just to make ourselves better, but to make the world better, to reach out. And that's what makes Christmas happen. I bet if you're like I am, we've had Christmas in the past that we don't remember anymore. Maybe some we do, because something happened to make that transfer visible. And that's our challenge. We have 2 weeks now to take the sharing and the honesty and the truthfulness, move it into our lives, let it flow out of our lives into the world. If we could do that, this would be a Christmas we will never forget, because we helped make it happen. We helped make Christ more present in the world. That's the challenge. Will we be baptized in that spirit that John the Baptizer was talking about? Because it's not only a spirit of God, but it's a spirit of fire. And that ignites us all to ignite one another and the world in greater peace and harmony. Don't just hear it. Now we have to do it.